great deal to do to stay in second place, or in fact to take the lead on this round, so he doesn't need to push it.
Well, you can see he took that very well. I mean, slow and in control. That's what he has to do.
Oh no, couldn't quite hold it there.
Yes, that was done very well. Right at the very top, the clutch comes in and he puts on the rear brake and it just spins.
So he's got a minute to add. 3 penalties at the moment. Still a lot of time in. He covers the ground very fast and he does seem to have a lot of confidence. So climb up now and ready to jump. 20 feet through the air, he makes it.
You know, he needs to just keep a little bit to the left-hand side and a little more speed.
He didn't fail on any of these obstacles first round, but there he goes again. So he's now got 4.
Through the gate. See him playing with the gears. He brought it all the way down to first and back into second.
Failed on the bunny hop. That's 1 minute 40 seconds to add. Still time in hand, but it's getting close. He's got to be accurate here, otherwise he could have blown himself straight out of it. One minute 40 to add. Is it clean? Oh, a flag. Well, this is tight now. So with 2 minutes to add, 7:56.4, he's just ahead of Jean-Marie Lejeune. Tony Scarlett's on the line, 18 years old, the first round leader, and I don't see any way that he is not going to be also the leader when he's finished this round. The only person in the competition so far to go clean in the other direction. Can he do it twice? So when he was riding in the other direction, first round, it seems amazing that he's still only 18. He seems to have been around forever.
Nice control.
Cleans that obstacle, which is a really hard one.
Yeah, we'll see how he's taking that angle again. One corner to the other. That's the way to go.
Just about the only person in the whole competition to have cleaned Zebedee in both directions. Can he do it again? He'll certainly do it in one direction. You're quite right, Jack. He really has steadied his riding down, hasn't he?
Yes,
very smooth.
And he's really thinking too. He's taking time right before he goes in and thinks about it.
In fact, if we go back to the very first heat, Eddie Lejeune with his penalties was slower than Tony Scarlett. In fact, with one penalty he was precisely the same time. Would you believe Eddie Lejeune was around in 2:23.1 plus a penalty, and Tony Scarlett was around in 2:23.9, so remarkably close. We're going to have some final. The long jump. This is a terrific ride. If he cleans it in both directions, that will be remarkable. No penalties. His time devastatingly quick. And in fact, if we look back, Lejeune's total time, 5:09.8, but he had 2 penalties in that, so that's 4:29.8 was his time over the course. And look at Scarlett there, a little bit slower, but brilliant. It's clear. 4:44.2, a brilliant ride. He repeats his first round effort. Fabulous. So the winning time for Heat 3, Tony Scarlett, 4 minutes 44.2, an absolutely brilliant round, clear in both directions, beating by more than 3 minutes the young man in second place, Ryan Young of the United States, 7:56.4. In third place, Jean-Marie Lejeune, just behind him there, 8 minutes 0.7, and then Ian Rawlins, 9 minutes 27.9 in fourth place, the other two excluded.
So that completes the heats. Now we're all set up for the final, and what a final it promises to be. 3 Englishmen, Steve Saunders, John Lampkin and Tony Scarlett. I'm really looking forward to seeing him ride this final course. And 2 Belgians, the great Eddie Lejeune and his brother Eric. To bring up the total to 6, we have Ryan Young from the United States of America. It's a different course. Rest assured, this stays. We're not getting rid of this. Far too good. It's a really interesting course disappearing into the trees over there. Whatever you do, don't miss the final of Norwich Union Kickstart 86. Hello again, welcome to Eastern Neston, where the heats are over and we're into the final of the 1986 Norwich Union Kickstart Championship. The most valuable one ever, with a prize fund of over £3,500. Very difficult course was set for the heats, probably required more skill than ever before. Jack Stites, my co-commentator here, former holder of 4 North American national titles. Jack, how have you seen it so far?
Well, I mean, the skill level's been real high. We've gotten, I think, the best riders through. And that's the most important part.
Now, what about this course? I mean, some of the riders, well, they were having a look at it, they're looking at us now. But it's a fairly tough course, I think. But is it a speed course or is it a skill course?
It's both, and that's why I like it so much. This one especially is going to be very hard. I mean, the water's real deep. I mean, it'll be real good, but speed is important.
Okay, well, the riders are now going to examine the rest of the course before the event gets underway. It's really the story of 3 Englishmen, 2 Belgians and an American. Here's a list of the riders.
Leading off will be the 19-year-old American Ryan Young from Williamsport, Pennsylvania on his Beta. Then John Lampkin, the Yorkshireman from Skipton, 23 years old, on a Fantic. Eric Lejeune from Belgium on a Honda 245, he's 21. Steve Saunders, also 21, on a Honda from England. Eddie Lejeune, the great Eddie Lejeune, 3 times world champion from Belgium, 25 years old now, riding a Honda. And Tony Scarlett on a Yamaha for England, he'll be the last to go. And because he was the slowest of the qualifiers, he has to lead off in this final, the 19-year-old American Ryan Young from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And as Jack Stites was saying, a course requiring both skill and speed. And here's the first skill exercise. Self-explanatory, but he's failed it. Oops, and that's a nasty position to be in. Nerves, I should think, will be getting to him. He's a good rider, this lad, and quite a pedigree, Jack, hasn't he? His father wasn't a bad rider. Still is.
Yes. No, I competed with his father back, I mean, it was years ago, 12, 14 years ago.
And now 2 bunny hops. This counts as 1 obstacle. As usual, you get 20-second penalties for failure. Can he get over it? It's going to be interesting to see how people like Eddie Lejeune, Tony Scarlett may... Oh, and he gets a 20-second penalty anyway. Next time round, perhaps you talk us through that, Jack. Perhaps explain what the best technique should be. And there you can see that's not the way to ride the double seesaw. And in fact, Ryan Young picked up another minute's worth of penalties as well, giving him a total of 5 minutes 3.3 for his first leg. This young man from Skipton in North Yorkshire, John Lampkin, comes from a very famous trials family. He's now 23 years old. He's been up there at the top in British trials for a long, long time now. Oh, making a mess of that.
Well, there's 2 in a row that have missed it there. I believe it's a lot of nerves at this point, because we do know that most of them can all do it. That's a very large jump up on there. And there's a real trick being able to do that, because you notice there's a log down at the bottom. And there's some others coming up later in the course, and I'll tell you that.
Oh, just failed, but he was fast through it. So certainly quicker than Ryan Young at that point. And now the double seesaw. He's through the first gate. Can he make the second one? Oh, that's good control. That's superb.
The tricky part here is right there, and a little bit of a left turn. You're just off balance and going over those barrels, which of course are curved at the top.
As we said here, this has got a cradle in these barrels. Rock as he steps up there. But he held that well. And he's got to rock his way out, but that's just speed once you're through, isn't it, Jack?
Yes,
to there?
that was quite nice. Right here, of course, I've got to jump off. It's very deep, but it's hard to get any grip with that rear tire right here, and he's got to start from almost nothing.
Oh, nice. That was very neat. Deserving that applause. He's not out of the section yet. He's got to get through the water and over this log. Now he's out of it. So he's going very well. Terrific time.
And here's his step again, just like going up the truck.
It's about 3 feet high there, and then another 18 inches onto the truck itself.
Right, most of that is actually done using the bike suspension correctly. The bike is actually all the way compressed with the suspension when it hits that. And when it, of course, hits, it releases itself, and that's what makes it pop up.
Well done, John.
Very nice. And once again, of course, the tires are slippery here. They're nice and wet, and everything's very
And
slippery.
saved a lot of time there, cutting down the manoeuvring time. Oh, he's cleaned it. This is excellent. Well, what a good time. He's only got 40 seconds to add. 2 penalties so far. Oh, and he missed that. He gets another penalty. What a shame. A minute to add. Makes 3 minutes 13.8 for Lampkin, but that's great. This is the young man who's got that target to chase. Eric Lejeune, 21 years old, from Dijon in Belgium. On a Honda 245. Got a lot to prove. He wants to prove to his brother that he's as good as him. Interestingly, Eddie Lejeune was world champion at this age. Oh, he's failed it as well. Now, Jack, we saw in the proving of this course that could be done quite easily. Now, that's 3 of them failed. Why?
Yeah, it has to be a little bit on nerves, but the major thing there is they can't really get any extra movement. Oh, isn't that nice? Quick kick in the middle.
Well, we saw in the heats that Eric Lejeune covers the ground very fast indeed. And that's got a lot of height, but not enough. That's catching them all out too. What's he going to do on the double seesaw?
Of course, you know, right up here, you've got to get very high before the thing actually falls down.
He makes it.
This is quite good, but it's surprising how high you actually have to go before it actually moves.
Well, he's very fast over the ground. 2 penalties so far. And now he's approaching the cradle. And we always found this a rather difficult obstacle, or so we thought. And for Eric Lejeune it is. So he picks up a penalty there. The flag you just saw in the right-hand corner, that's held by one of the marshals of the Pathfinders and Derby Motor Club. Our thanks to them for marshalling so well. Eric Lejeune's elapsed time in the top right-hand corner of the screen. The target time set by John Lampkin in the left-hand corner. As now he approaches the water. And the foot down there cost him another penalty, and in fact Eric Lejeune picked up another 2 penalties before the end, giving him a total time of 4 minutes 16.4. Twice a kickstart runner-up, and now hoping to go one better, 21-year-old Steve Saunders from Cheltenham in Gloucestershire. Current leader of the British Championship, being hard-pressed by Tony Scarlett, who we'll be seeing later, but he's hoping for good things today. He really is having a great season, Jack, and that's clean.
Just marvelous. You notice how he was able to just keep a whole lot slower in between the logs, and just kept a lot firmer on the bike, just straight up and down, centered. Right here, what they did is, of course, they had a nice little lip to jump up onto that truck, and it's very high. It's a left-hand turn, and it's very slippery. They could slide out at any time.
That's how to do 1 bunny hop. That's how to do 2. Oh, he is on form.
Of course, right here, I remember I said they have to go really high. And of course, you can't see where you're going either when you get up to the top.
And that's clean as well. No problem then for Saunders so far. He's got to be followed by Eddie Lejeune and Tony Scarlett. Eddie is a faster man over the ground, I would say, than Saunders. So he just has to be accurate. That's where Eric Lejeune came a cropper. Not.
Little bunny hop over the end. Very nice.
Right.
But of course, right here, they jump into the water. And now to get grip right here. Yes, it has it. Very nice.
And gets the applause of the crowd. Again, well deserved.
But it's such a balance point. If you lean too far forward, there's no weight on the rear tire. And if you lean too far back, the front tire comes in the air. So it's a real balance point.
Well, I'm told that he actually has 1 penalty, which he got on the very first obstacle, which we're going to have to go back and look at just to confirm. But assuming that that's the case, he still only has got 20 seconds to add to that time, so it's very fast.
Once again, this is slippery. His first acceleration is going to mean everything. See, he's going to bring the tire all the way back. Very nice. That's just a fine touch right in there. Oh, beautiful.
And again, taking the shortcut to get out. This is a terrific time. So assuming he's got just the one penalty against him, certainly is clean on the rest of the course. As he knocks that off, that's clear as well. Just 20 seconds to add to what is a very good time. That makes 2:32.3 for Steve Saunders. But now if we can go back, we can take a look at the exit of the very first obstacle. And if you watch that very carefully, you'll see that he doesn't wheelie out, which is what he's supposed to. His front wheel is actually dropped before the rear wheel leaves the obstacle, and that counts as a penalty. The appropriately numbered 1, the great Eddie Lejeune, 3 times world champion from Hervé in Belgium, now 25 years old, still at the peak of his form. Fantastic rider. Now this is where Steve Saunders got it wrong, and you see that's how it should have been done. That was perfection. And I've got a sneaky feeling we might see an absolutely perfect round from Eddie Lejeune.
But we know he's real quick over the ground, but always in the finals before he's either made some kind of silly mistake. Oh, look at the height of that rear tire over those bunny hops.
And clear again. He's just such a precise rider, and I was almost tempted to say his head and shoulders better than everyone else, but then nearly made a mistake.
Well, you can see his knees flopping around, so that means a lack of control right there. Just when he stands perfectly still, you know he has it all together.
Cradle where his brother fell, but not Eric, not Eddie, rather.
He's quite fast through there. But once again, he jumps off and he has to get a nice grip here with that rear tire.
He really was wading through this earlier to see how deep it was. Every inch of this course he's going to ride over, he has walked. He's put his feet right where those tires go.
Of course, you know, these riders, of course, this is the first time they've ridden it. Oh, exactly. What he's doing there is he's trying to dry his tires out. And of course, that means a better grip.
He's a cheeky little man.
Yes, they're quite nice.
Well, he's clear on this course so far. The elapsed time there up in the top right-hand corner, 2 obstacles to go. So he could well be in the lead at the end of the... Oh, and a problem! He gets a penalty, and no one expected that.
But what
he
it
won't
could
be
have been,
pleased about it.
He could have gotten dirt mixed in with his tires when he was trying to dry them. It could have hurt him.
So now here he comes in to knock off this log. He's got 20 seconds to add. He's not going to be far ahead of Saunders, if at all. He's completed that just ahead. He's going into the lead, but only just. That makes 2:27.1 for Eddie Lejeune. He leads. And we hope it's not unlucky 13 for 18-year-old Tony Scarlett from Sheffield. He was the fastest qualifier. Not only that, he was the only man to go clear in both rounds in his heat. Fabulous ride from him, and I'm looking forward to seeing another of those now. Let's hope we can... Oh, dear.
Well, that's not the way to start, is it? But I believe Tony, he really... I talked to him a little early, and he was just really sure he was going to do well. And I kind of believe him.
I've seen Tony Scarlett around since he was about 13 or 14. He's now only 18, but he seems to have been an absolute top liner right from the start. Terrific rider. And that was far. Oh, it's down.
Over.
Just a bit too quick. So he's got 40 seconds against him. Well, he's got to cover the ground fast if he's going to retrieve that. You can't really give faults away like that to people like Eddie Lejeune and Steve Saunders. He doesn't seem to suffer from nerves, but he's a very quiet lad when he walks the course, so I don't really know what he's thinking.
We'll see how he's starting to just fall off the bike a little bit to one side. And that's usually when they're starting to lose balance. And the same thing with the knees moving around. But it's just getting off that center.
Target time set by Eddie Lejeune in the top left-hand corner. Well, to get round and to beat that, Tony Scarlett would have to complete the course in the remaining 20 seconds. He won't do that, that's for sure, but he's not going to be too far behind. And don't forget, they have to repeat the course in the opposite direction. So there's plenty to aim for yet. He'll be disappointed. It was a bit of carelessness, I think, that's put him in this position.
He really needs to be quick through here. Not do any of this, lots of bouncing around. He's got to get his spot really quickly. A lot of time.
He's now well outside Eddie Lejeune's time, so he's got 40 seconds to add to that.
Oh, that was marvelous.
That was
bike
beautifully
just
held,
sliding.
yeah.
If you're not on that centered position, you won't be able to hold the bike. But if you stay centered, that weight will be over that rear tire and you get some grip and you'll go.
So he's going to add 40 to this. He could well not even be third, because John Lampkin put up a pretty reasonable time of 3:13.8. He's got 40 to add here. Oh, he missed it. That's a minute to add. Oh, he really has blown his chances with that. 1 minute to add to that makes 3:32. That puts him in fourth place. So as expected then, at the end of the first leg, Eddie Lejeune of Belgium is in the lead, 2:27.1, but Steve Saunders of England right on his heels, 5.2 seconds behind, 2:32.3. In third place, John Lampkin of England, 3:13.8. In fourth place, as you've just seen, Tony Scarlett there, 3:32 exactly. In fifth place, Eric Lejeune, 4:16.4. And in last place, the young man from America, Ryan Young, 5:03.3. Okay, for the second leg we now reverse the course, and they have to complete it through there. The combined time will decide the winner. First to go was Ryan Young. He was the slowest first time round. He improved on his second leg there, but not too much, and ended up with a total time of 8:35.9. Eric Lejeune from Belgium, he went next and had a fairly rough time on the course, ending with a total time of 8:30.6, but for a moment he was in the lead. And Tony Scarlett, who we'd hoped for great things of, in spite of a rather poor first round, well, he didn't improve on it in the second round, took even longer. 7:45.7 was the time he set. That's the target for the rest, as we join John Lampkin from England on the start line. This extremely likeable 23-year-old from Skipton in North Yorkshire. That's how to do it, neat and controlled. Now the top three, that's Lampkin, Saunders and Eddie Lejeune, all that separates them, 2 obstacles, 2 penalties in fact. Lampkin picked up 3 on the first round, Saunders and Lejeune picked up 1 each. That's all that separates them. They rode the course at the same speed.
Now, of course, in this direction we haven't just gone through the water, and the tires are all nice and dry and lots of grip through there. So we should see some real nice rides in there.
Lampkin cleans one of the obstacles that upset him first time through. Clean so far. What's he going to do here? Now, you reckon this is a really difficult spot?
Right, this is going to separate him right here. This is the hardest piece, I believe, in the whole course. And that's, of course, why.
He's
It
got
is
his
so
feet
deep
down
in
there.
Yeah, the water is really deep and just can't get any speed out of it.
He's got a 20-second penalty. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does manage to clean that. Well, that's neat. He's through there. Just 20 to add.
Now the spool's being dry. Of course, now they've just gone through the water and all these are slippery. You need to be very careful.
Double seesaw. He managed this very easily first time through, but on the walk round, when they were looking at the course, he didn't look too happy with it, but he's made it look easy. And a bad mistake there. He made the same mistake on the way out. He's got 2 penalties, 2 obstacles to go.
Now this is a large step getting up in here, and it's very slippery. See how it's going downhill? He's got to get back up, and if he accelerates too quick, the tire will slip. And there's just a little bit of sand and things on there, just makes it all that more slippery.
And another skill section that he failed on in the first leg. He's got to keep his wheel up. Oh, he's failed it again. So he's got a minute to add. It's a good time on the ground there, but that makes 6:22.9 his total. This young man, Steve Saunders, then, an absolute ace. 21 years old. Almost certainly a future world champion.
Very nice. The 2 places that they can make time here, of course, are getting straight on these barrels, and of course the water section. That's where they're going to win or lose today. And if he can hop that rear wheel around there, that's the quick way right there. Nice and straight. See how quick that was? Just what he wanted.
Steve Saunders had just 1 penalty on the first round for a careless mistake. He was actually looking over my shoulder when we had the rerun, and he was furious with himself.
But this is it right here. If he can make this, it's going to be very hard for Eddie.
Oh, he's got a foot down, so he's already fouled on the section. And he didn't quite make it. Maybe it's not makeable then.
But this has been very slippery now because of the water. He needs to be careful.
Oh!
And he's out.
He's out of that as well. So he's got 40 against him. The gate for that particular section, incidentally, was on the bank when he turned right, so he was well inside the section. So a definite penalty as he comes up now to the seesaw, the double seesaw, but he's got 40 seconds against him, and, well, maybe he's ridden himself out of this.
Boy, tremendous height.
Yes, clean
Very
both directions. Now, what's he going to do here? 40 seconds to add to that. The target time up there, Lampkin's time in the corner. I think Steve's certainly going to beat that. But Eddie Lejeune to come. And Steve hasn't really put the pressure on him because he needed a clean or very nearly clean round to do that. Now, this is where he made the mistake first time. He's done it again, I think. And in fact, it's clean. 40 seconds to add, 5:16.4. So is this man going to repeat his win of last year? The great Eddie Lejeune of Belgium. He's got to complete this course, including penalties, in 2 minutes 49.3 to win.
He's taking a little time, but he has, I think, a good lead, so he just has to be real consistent. On that ice. Very quick.
And he's so fast over the ground. Right, this is the problem area. He's certainly quicker over the ground than Steve Saunders, but...
Well, he's looked at this, I mean, quite often and very hard. If anyone's going to do it, he's in trouble.
Whoa! And 20 seconds and a problem. The number of times in Kickstart we've seen Eddie Lejeune have real problems. When he has one, it's a big one. So now his tyres are soaked. He's going to have to go a bit. 20 seconds to add, and he could get a bit reckless. But then again, I've spoken too soon before about this man. He is so good.
Remember, the tires are wet.
At 20 seconds to that time in the top right-hand corner, and you see what he's got to do to win. The time in the left-hand corner. Oh, and he's got a foot down, has he? Certainly down. Couldn't see past the marshal, but he was definitely down. There's the flag. So another 40 seconds to add. He's in trouble. 40 seconds to add to that. 4:42 is his elapsed time. He's not got a lot of time to do it in. Oh, this is so close. Steve Saunders may have thought he'd blown it, but I think Eddie Lejeune may well not win. It's so close. 40 seconds to add. That's now 5 minutes. He's got to finish this course in 16.4 seconds or better. 40 seconds to add. He's put a foot down. He's blown it. It's gone. He's got a minute to add. It makes 5:34.1. Eddie Lejeune is second. Steve Saunders wins the Norwich Union Kickstart Championship of 1986. Final result then. Steve Saunders of England wins 5:16.4. Eddie Lejeune of Belgium second, 5:34.1. In third place, John Lampkin of England, 6:22.9. Fourth, Tony Scarlett of England, 7:45.7. Fifth, Eric Lejeune of Belgium, 8:30.6. And Ryan Young from the United States, 8:35.9. So to present the prizes, Peter Walterton, who's the motor insurance manager of Norwich Union Insurance. And the trophy for the winner and a cheque for £500 goes to Steve Saunders! So we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the event this year. There'll be another one soon. Don't forget Junior Kickstart near Christmas. Hope you've enjoyed it. From Easton Neston, goodbye.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, then Stacy. Is this your new home? You're late.
I had to get him out of bed. Well, I didn't get to bed till 3. I shouldn't be starting till this afternoon.
In Clwyd, and for my money he could just be a dark horse here. He rode with great confidence in practice. Now here it's all got to be foot up. Tap these two logs of the front wheel and mustn't touch any of those white sections. He's got away with it, very close. And you hear what the audience think of that. Good applause for him. But he rode with such confidence in practice, I just feel he could surprise everyone.